So we brought a new sort of style of Mexican culture to each place that we had arrived, and introduced tequila. And so I started realizing how important tequila was to my formula. And at that time I started thinking, well, I'm going to make sure I know as much about it so that I can promote it as well as I can within my places. So I thought, now how am I going to approach this? And I thought, I'll do my own marketing. Instead of trying to get people to write about my places, I thought, I'll write my own articles, quite naively. The first one that I wrote, I sent around, all rejections. I thought, oh God, this is hard to keep my enthusiasm up about this. So then the next time I thought to do it, I went around to trade press or trade media, and I said, if I wrote an article about this tequila, would you consider it? Yes. So then that's how I started getting accepted, and eventually wrote a number of articles for trade and mainstream, including a magazine which was a Mexican magazine called Tequila 100%, Tequila 100%. And the editor was a man named Alfonso. I started writing for him and wrote usually 2 rather lengthy articles an issue for him. And my name got out in Mexico very, very strongly. As a result of that, I was gaining traction, I was gaining a position, partially by my writing, partially by my elbowing my way into any sort of situation I could. I had heard that the CNIT primarily, which is the Mexican National Tequila Chamber, as well as the CRT, which is the Tequila Regulatory Council, but mainly the Chamber, which is a promotional board, that they were planning a trip of 40 tequila producers to come over to London along with the then president, President Fox, to open an art exhibition called Aztec or Maya, I can't remember which. So when I heard about this, I said, look, what are you going to do in London? Well, we're going to do this. Well, talk to this PR company. So it was a London-based PR company that had experience with being the PR company for German wines. So I said, well, what are you going to do? Well, we're going to do this and this. I said, so I got the idea that they knew nothing about tequila, and probably very little about German wines either. So I suggested various activities, including inviting the whole party into my London restaurant on the Sunday before these activities started. So this night was an enormous success. They all came in. I knew some of them I didn't know. One of them that I did not know was Carlos Camarena, who was then the producer of Tesoro and Tapatio. To me, he was one of the ones that I esteemed most highly. He said, I'm Carlos Camarena. I said, you're so welcome. And this is my wife, Monica. I said, the both of you are so welcome here. I so highly regard your products. I said, I'm Tomas Estes. And he said, I know who you are. I said, I was very flattered, taken back. I said, how do you know? He said, I've been reading your things and reading about you. At this gathering, the then elected amongst the other tequila producers, the then elected president of the chamber, the CNIT, the Mexican National Tequila Chamber, was a man named Francisco Gonzalez. At the end of the meal, he stood up and he said, Tomas, as thank you very much for hosting us to this evening. And as the representative, I want to let you know that as a gesture of our gratitude for all that you've done in promotion up to this time for the tequila category, we have made you our official ambassador. This was a total surprise. And in fact, I do not only say that it was a surprise to me, it might have been a surprise to everyone there, including Francisco Gonzalez, because he might have made it up on the spot.